Alright, so here's what it's doing. There. So anyhow, I replaced the ICP in the cam position sensor, and I'm assuming that it's the actual connector that goes into the ICP. I don't have a whole lot else to check. So anyways, I'm going to replace that. Alright, so here we are. First video ever. I'm not going to lie to you, it's a little bit weird. I'm not used to being in front of a camera. Not really our culture, not really where I come from. But just talk a little bit about what I'm trying to do here pretty much. I'm an average person. I'm a normal person. I deal with a normal person, you know, everyday ups and downs, highs and lows. And that's kind of why I'm doing this. I don't really care if I get a bunch of followers or anything like that. This is just me kind of expressing myself on a social media platform and being honest and true to myself and true to American culture, you know, especially here in the West. So a little bit about myself. I really like working on stuff, even though you know how that can go. It can be a little bit frustrating at times. But I really do enjoy it. It's kind of a release. It gives me something to do. It's problem solving. I actually worked as a mechanic for a little bit before I left. It's just something that I really enjoy to do personally. I got a dog. Got a great, loving, supporting family, and they take care of me. I'm trying to get out on my own right now. I went to school for a couple of years. It wasn't really my thing. Ended up doing the military route, and so here I am. So anyways, now that I sort of did the intro, catch you up a little bit on what we're doing. So this is my 2001 7.3 Power Stroke F250. It's kind of my baby, yet I think it seems to hate me. I used to have a 97 F250 7.3, and kind of a long story, I'm sure I'll get into it at some point, but ended up getting wrecked, and I love that thing. I love it a lot, but I got plans to restore it someday. I still have it. So anyways, I bought this thing coming up on 2 years now, down in Wyoming, and it seemed pretty solid when I got it. You know how that goes, buying new stuff. I just sort of had problems. So today we're tracking a problem which we've been tracking for a while. It has a little bit of a skip in it. And I just want to say, this isn't a tutorial video at all. This is just me showing you what I'm doing. This is one thing that I'm doing. So I'm replacing a cam position sensor, and I just put a whole new system in there, a new fuel system. It's a high pressure electronic injection system, and so I got to also replace one of my connections on the fuel lines. They didn't quite match, and it's kind of a cobbled together mess. So I'm going to figure that out, fix it, make it better, and then replace this cam sensor, and hopefully we can get rid of that skipping. If not, back to the drawing board. But I'm just trying to knock out some little things, you know. Personally, I think it's a fuel issue, but I did some reading online forums, and it kind of leads to this cam position sensor, so we'll see where it takes us. But anyhow, that's where we're at. Alright, so I know it's terrible lighting, but that's the cam position sensor right there. It's easy. It's just a 10mm bolt. Pull the sensor out, rub some grease on the new one, throw it in, and plug it back in. That's the connection we're replacing. So we're taking that out, and it's kind of a cobbled together mess, and we're just going to make it a little bit better. So that's where we're at. I'll talk to you when it's done. I got that connection done. It's not leaking, and I put that sensor in, so we're going to go take it out for test drive and see what it does. Let's go. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go take it on a test run. I got the windows down. I don't know if that's going to be bad or good. And no, I have not mounted anything inside the pickup yet. I know I could have, but hey, no codes though, so that is a good start. Alright, we'll get up here on the highway, turn off on it, and let's see what she does. Alright, we'll go ahead and get on it. That's a lot of wind. But hey, knock on some serious wood, it did not do anything right there, and that's where it would have done it. It's right there at the shift point. It'll have kind of a chug. Alright, back at the shop, and like I said, I'll say it again, knock on wood, but I think we might have just fixed it. I can't even believe it. I've been tracking this problem since before I left for basics, so I mean, technically it's been like 8 months. Really only been total a few weeks. But so what happened was, is when it originally went out, I was working at the shop still, and we put a good snap-on tester on it, And what the tester said was that it had some ICP issues, which usually when your ICP goes out, so does your cam position sensor. So what I did was I broke down and bought the ICP from Ford, the good sensor, and it was spendy. It was like 200 and something bucks for this little bitty sensor, and at the time wasn't making the best of money. And so I was like, oh, cam sensor, I'll just buy that from Napa or whatever. And so I got that cam sensor from Napa. So placed ICP, and what was weird about it was it made it better, but there was still an issue there, because when it originally happened, it was so bad that I couldn't even drive the truck. It would die on me. I mean, it was that bad. And I was like, that's just so weird that it would make it better but not fix it. So then I was starting to look other places, like maybe it's a fuel issue and the domino effect of things going out. And I was just doing some research online today, just kind of poking around, and I saw that cam position sensor again. I'm like, man, I know I replaced that, but I know how important it is to replace sensors, especially with factory parts. I know better than that, but you're low on money, whatever, and you think you can cheat the system. Well, I had the money now, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to Ford, see how much that sensor is, just buy it, put it in, just for the peace of mind to know that that's not it more than anything. To be honest, I didn't think it was gonna fix it. And so I went there, bought that sensor, put it in. I mean, it was, what, a 5-minute job, and I'll be damned if that didn't fix it. I mean, I'm blown away right now. I'm so happy. That, for me, means so much for my progress forward on this truck. I mean, I got a lot of things I want to do. I want to make it faster. I want to make it a little bit bigger battery, more torque, more horsepower, all that stuff. But you gotta get these little things out of the way first. If you can't cross over these small obstacles and get that stuff knocked out, then you're never going to be able to go and make big power, because you have a problem that could lead to a much bigger thing, like blowing up your motor, and that's not something that I can afford, obviously. But this makes me so happy. Now we're talking, bigger injectors, better wheel in the turbo, possibly even a second turbo. Chip. This thing isn't chipped at all. This is it's a slightly larger exhaust. It's got that fuel system upgrade, and other than that, it's pretty much a stock barebone beast. I've just been fixing other things. I had some suspension issues, driveline U-joints, simple stuff that I've been working on. I'm just trying to get it up to par, and then I had this motor issue. But now that that's done, now it's time to make some serious progress. So that's really exciting.